Hello and welcome to GES 286, Exploring the Environment, a Geospatial Perspective. The name says it all. Actually, the name reveals some of what we'll be doing this semester, and the purpose of this video is to help you think about what we're going to be doing, to talk through the basic structure of the class, things that I'll be asking you to do, things you'll be accountable for, and then what you can expect of the course and of your instructors. And overall, what I want you to do is be prepared for the first week of class so we can dive right in, because that's exactly what we're going to do. This is my second semester teaching this course. I came to UMBC in the fall after having spent 12 years in the Department of Geography and Urban Studies at Temple University in Philly. There, I taught mostly methods courses, so statistics, advanced statistics, spatial statistics, GIS, all sorts of variations on GIS, and things of that nature, which is sort of curious to me. It still is, because when I was an undergraduate learning about the stage in your academic career that you are right now, I was actually a political philosophy major. I wasn't really interested in geospatial technologies, but I ended up studying infrastructure, getting really interested in that along the way, and that led me to explore GIS. I did this in the context of urban and regional planning at the University of Michigan, where I was a graduate student. These are tools that are used in many applications, and what we're going to learn this semester is how these tools help us understand the overall process of scientific inquiry. So how do we study the environment? Where do we take samples? How do we do these things? These things are all explicitly spatial. And so we'll be learning a set of tools loosely called geographic information systems that allow us to perform these sorts of analyses. GIS is a great toolkit to get to know. It is marketable. It is something you'll be happy to have on your resume and have a little background in. And by the end of the semester, you'll understand enough about these tools that you can actually make sense of your own GIS projects or other dabbling in your future. Now, I want to provide just a basic orientation to what you'll see at our course Blackboard site, because of a lot of the information we're going to be working with is going to be deployed through that site. So you can count on Blackboard as being a basic location that you should check out frequently. I'll also be communicating with you via email, so make sure, I'll assume you will, check your email routinely. I've also set up a Discord for our course. It gives you a chance to answer one another's questions as well, and I found it to be a pretty helpful tool. So I'm going to continue to use Discord. It's not something I grade. It's something that augments what you're up to. Kind of like email. I don't grade your email, but you'll find that email can be very helpful. This Blackboard site, I hate Ultra, I hate Blackboard, but that's what we've got. And so what I've done is I've put basic information about the class under Start Here. I would recommend, if you've already gotten to this video, you've already seen that by clicking Start Here, you will get to this page that contains this video. So at the Blackboard site, you will see the syllabus, some instructor information, and then the syllabus. Yes, information on accessing the course software. You'll definitely want to familiarize yourself with that. What you'll also find soon beneath the syllabus is our content for the course arrayed by unit. So our first unit will be posted by Monday morning, the 31st, the beginning of the semester, and you will see there some introductory material in the form of a VoiceThread lecture, and then you'll see information about our first lab exercise. Now, I lay out how this works in the course syllabus, which I recommend that you read. In the syllabus, I explain our provide a basic overview of the course, what we're going to be doing, and how it's going to work, including the various technologies we're going to use, and how this course is going to run, which is this. According to the course syllabus, we meet, and the course bulletin, we meet on Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. for lecture. That will not be the case. We're going to be doing lectures asynchronously. I don't see an advantage to meeting all in one space on Monday morning. And so our lectures will be posted by first thing Monday. I ask you to review them and comment on them, and commenting on them is basically proof that you've viewed them, so a comment is required to get credit for having attended the lecture. Comment as much as you like, but at least once to get credit for having attended. Those lectures I ask you to participate in prior to your lab section. Now, labs meet on Wednesdays in the morning, Friday mornings, and Friday afternoon. So make sure the night before your lab section that you have reviewed the lecture and that you have commented on the lecture. Labs are going to run for 2.5 hours, those 3 times I just mentioned. We will split our time between being in the lab, in the classroom, and being out in the field. So for example, on the very first lab section, we will go out in the field for at least part of it to learn how to navigate using maps. In this course schedule, you'll see that each unit lasts roughly 2 weeks. We have a series of 6 different content units. And in the first week of each, we'll go out in the field and collect data during lab time. And in the second part of each unit, the second week of each unit, will mostly be in the lab. Now there's some departure from that. It won't be exactly the same every time, but that's basically what you can count on. And so those dates that we are out gathering field are particularly difficult days to make up if you have to be absent. One key to success in this course is showing up. By showing up for class, you will do much, much better in this class. It does not help to be absent. And missing labs puts you in a particularly difficult position. We have some flexibility. There are opportunities to make up labs. Generally speaking, if you've missed a lab, you can either make it up with a different lab section, if that's possible, or on Mondays. If you have an excuse for not being there, I will allow you to make up the labs. And we can talk more about how that works going forward. But basically our pattern will be, we're going to be breaking up the semester into several 2-week segments, each of which will focus on a lab assignment and an intermediate homework assignment of some sort. So basically you're going to have an assignment each week, and each week you will also be participating in our lecture and ongoing conversations. That's the work for the course. Now, if you want to see how that breaks out, your final grade will be based on these components. So the lab assignments, those weekly homework assignments, quizzes, which will be given, well, actually, those are a work in progress. Last semester, I gave a midterm, I gave a final. I hate exams. I think it's not particularly helpful, and so I'm restructuring things around quizzes given unit by unit, or possibly more frequently than that. As you can see in the description in the syllabus, quizzes will be given or be graded on a completion basis. So you can take the quiz as many times as you want. Collectively, those are worth 14% of your grade. So you can see those lab assignments, those 6 unit by unit lab assignments are the biggest component of your grade. Those intermediate homework assignments are a significant component of your grade. And then the quizzes and a final, you can kind of think of this lab practical as being a take-home final in which you do things with the tools that we've been using all semester. And then some weight given to 4% of your final grade, showing up for lectures and participating in our discussion. This really matters at the margin. You can think of it this way. These are opportunities for others in the class, for your TAs, and for me to get to know you and your learning personality and the effort you're putting forth. Showing up, as I said, is an important part of this class. I think Woody Allen says it's like 90% of life. I include here a few policies about things like late papers. I'll leave it to you to read those, but that's a basic overview of the syllabus and where you can get information about this class. A few things about this course. It is a 4-credit course. That means it's about 1/3 more work than a typical course. You will do a good bit of work in this class. You can kind of think of our basic pattern as being week 1 of each unit. We'll go out into the field and gather a bunch of information. While we're doing that, you'll get background information on data analysis, and then specifically trees or some other topic. And then in week 2, we'll be conducting analyses in the lab. That will be our general pattern. When we are gathering data in the field, we're going outside. Unless it is dangerous to be outside, we will go, which means we may be out in the rain, we may be out in the cold, we may be out in the heat. Who knows? We'll see what we get. It's your job to take a look at the weather forecast before we meet and make sure that you are prepared to participate in the lab. I'm not doing this class alone. I'm working with Kirk Saylor and Gina Lee. They are 2 seasoned GES graduate students who will be providing assistance to sections, the 3 sections of this course. Gina will be working on the Wednesday sections, and Kirk will be working with both Friday sections. So get to know your TA, and you'll see at the Blackboard site for this course, there's contact information for all of us. We are all very responsive to email, so feel free to reach out and get to know all of us. Now that you've seen all this, hopefully you're thinking, all right, let's get started. I hope that's what you're thinking. And indeed, that's what we will do. Make sure to look at the weather forecast before your lab section next week. And if you make sure to check your email if there are any announcements about changes in our schedule, that's the place to look for them. If you have any questions about this document, about this video, or anything I'm asking of you this semester, please reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you in section next week.